Welcome to Groove's Crypto Copilots.
Great to be diving in again.
Yeah, today we're exploring something that's really buzzing right now, both in crypto and on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter.
You mean X Spaces?
Exactly, their live audio feature. This deep dive is especially for you if you're maybe new to crypto and you're trying to figure out these audio chats on X.
Right, trying to get the lay of the land.
We want to basically unpack what X Spaces are all about, how you can, jump right in.
And there's that recent update too, isn't there? About desktop.
Yes. Good point. Big news for desktop users, you can now actually speak in X Spaces from your computer. We'll definitely get into what that means.
That's a pretty significant change, actually. Especially since these live audio chats are becoming such a dynamic way for newcomers to learn about crypto.
Yeah, it's as different from just reading, isn't it?
Totally. You hear real-time talks, you can even join in. So, okay, let's start with the basics for anyone who's completely new to this. What are X Spaces?
Right. So think of X Spaces as like live audio rooms right there inside the X app or platform.
Okay.
They've actually been around since 2020, believe it or not, but it feels like they've really hit their stride lately.
Especially in certain communities, like crypto.
Definitely. It's just a place where anyone can host a live conversation, people can listen in, they can share it. It's gotten pretty influential.
Like when Elon Musk used it for those high-profile chats.
Exactly. Yeah, remember him talking with figures like Donald Trump? That showed how much attention these spaces can pull, how much engagement they can drive.
And, for someone just dipping their toes into crypto, which can feel really fast-paced, having this direct line to hear discussions it's valuable.
Like being a fly on the wall.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So say you're on your phone scrolling through X and you see a space that looks interesting. How do you actually get in? How do you listen?
Good question. On your phone, it's fairly simple. Open the X app, look down at the bottom navigation bar. You should see a little microphone icon, probably labeled Spaces. Tap that. It takes you to a dedicated Spaces page, and there you'll see spaces that are live right now, some that are trending.
Meaning lots of people are listening.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll also see upcoming spaces that people have scheduled. You can even set reminders for those.
Ah, handy.
And sometimes you might just see them pop up at the top of your regular timeline too, little bubbles showing who's listening or speaking in a live space.
Okay, so you find one. What info do you see before you decide to click and join?
Right, so when you tap on a space card, you'll see the title right up top. Hopefully it tells you what they're talking about.
Gives you a clue.
Yeah. Then often there are topics listed, like hashtags for more context. You'll see the host's picture, any co-hosts they have helping out, and the current speakers.
And the number of listeners.
Yeah, right down at the bottom, you see how many people are tuned in live.
Interesting. Now, I heard something about listening anonymously. Is that an option?
It is, yeah. Often, before you fully enter the audio stream, X gives you the option to join without your username being shown in the main listener list.
Why would someone choose that, especially a newcomer?
Well, it's a good way to kind of test the waters, right? Maybe you just want to quietly listen and get a feel for the conversation first.
Learn the jargon, maybe?
Exactly. Or maybe you're somewhere noisy, or you just prefer to observe before, putting your name out there. It's a low-pressure way to start.
Makes sense. But even if you join anonymously, or just as a regular listener, you're not totally silent, are you? There are ways to interact.
Oh, definitely not. You've got options. The main way to potentially get your voice heard is the request button.
Request to speak?
Yep. You tap that, it sends a little alert to the host. If they approve it, they can bring you on stage, so to speak.
Okay.
You can also just see who else is listening by tapping the attendee list.
Yeah.
Gives you a sense of the room.
And reactions, like on posts.
Yeah, similar idea. There's usually a heart icon. Tap that, and you can send up little animated emojis, a heart, thumbs up, clapping hands, that sort of thing. Just a quick way to react without interrupting.
What about sharing something interesting that was said?
The clips feature.
Yeah.
There's a little scissors icon. You can tap that to capture like the last 30 seconds of audio.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and then you can share that clip directly as a post on X. Great for highlighting a key point.
And comments, like a text chat.
Yep, there's usually a comment section running alongside the audio too. You can read what others are typing and add your own comments or questions there in real time.
So quite a few ways to engage, even just as a listener, on mobile now.
Yeah.
The desktop experience, you mentioned the big change there.
Right. So historically, desktop was listen only. You still can't create or host a space from the X website on your computer. That's still mobile only for now.
Okay, but the big news.
The big news is you can now speak from your desktop if you join via a link. That's huge for accessibility.
Definitely. So how does someone on a computer get that magic link to join?
Pretty easy, actually. Anyone who's in the space on their mobile app can share it. There's usually a share icon somewhere, often top right.
Okay.
Tapping, that gives you options. Invite via DM sends a direct message with the link. Share via post tweets the link out. Copy link just copies it so you can paste it anywhere.
Like in an email or a chat app?
Exactly. Or there's a general share via that uses your phone's standard share menu. Once you have that link, just click it on your desktop, it opens in your browser, and boom, you're in, and you have the option to request to speak now.
Okay, so desktop listening and speaking is unlocked via links. Got it.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about hosting your own crypto chat, still got to grab your phone.
That's right. For now, hosting starts on the mobile app. You go back to that Spaces tab, the microphone icon at the bottom. Then you look for another microphone icon, usually with a little plus sign on it. Tap that, and it starts the setup process.
First step probably involves the mic.
You guessed it. It'll likely ask you to toggle on Allow Mic Access. Kind of essential for hosting.
Makes sense. What else do you need to set up? What are the key things?
Okay, few main things. You need a title for your space. Make it clear. Tell people what the chat's about.
Catch their eye.
Right. Then you can add up to 3 topics. These are like tags, helps people find your space if they're searching for, say, hashtag crypto or hashtag NFTs.
Good for discovery.
Then there's a toggle for record space. Crucial if you want people to be able to listen later. You just switch that on.
And then you decide when to start.
Exactly. You can either hit start now to go live immediately, or you can choose schedule for later.
That scheduling seems really useful, especially for planning, like setting up a crypto AMA or a discussion around an event.
Oh, absolutely. You can schedule, I think, up to 10 spaces as far as 30 days out.
Wow.
And once they're scheduled, there's a little calendar icon, usually at the top of the main spaces page, where you can see and manage your scheduled spaces. Edit details, see what's coming up.
And can other people see those scheduled spaces and get notified?
Yep. Others can see them. They can hit a button to set a reminder so they get notified when it goes live. They can even add it to their own calendar. Very handy.
Cool. So when you're hosting, say, about crypto, you're probably not talking to yourself. Who else gets to speak?
Good point. It's meant to be a conversation. So besides you, the host, you can invite up to 2 co-hosts. They can help you manage things like speaker requests.
Okay, copilots.
Yeah. And then you can have up to 10 speakers talking at the same time, in addition to the host and co-hosts.
10 speakers at once. Okay.
Yeah, it can get lively.
Yeah.
The host is ultimately in charge, though. They approve speaker requests, they can remove speakers, or even kick listeners out if needed.
So you have control. What about who can even request to speak in the first place? Can you set that?
You can. When you first set up the space, you choose the speaker permissions. It can be everyone, meaning anyone listening can request, or people you follow, which limits it, or only people you invite to speak, which is the most restrictive you have, to actively invite each speaker.
So different levels of openness.
Right. And remember, even if you set it to everyone, listeners still have to request and the host has to approve them. And hosts or co-hosts can always invite people up directly too.
Got it. Now, how do you get people into your space? How do you spread the word?
Every space you create, whether live or scheduled, gets its own unique web link.
The link again.
That link is key. You share it everywhere. Send it in DMs on X, post it as a tweet, text it, email it, put it on Discord, Telegram, wherever your community hangs out. Anyone with the link can click and join.
Regardless of whether they follow you?
Correct. The link is the open invitation.
Okay. And that recording option you mentioned, super valuable for crypto info that people might miss live. How does retrieving and sharing the recording work?
So if you remembered to toggle record space on before you started,
Right. Got to remember that.
a little recording indicator shows up during the live space. After you, the host, end the space, you'll get a notification from X. You tap on View Details or something similar in your notifications.
And then,
It'll give you the option to basically post the recording as a replay. People can then find it and listen back. Oh, and the host can actually trim the beginning of the recording before posting it.
oh, useful for cutting out the testing is this on part.
Exactly. Cut out the dead air at the start. And those recordings stay public unless the host specifically deletes them.
Good to know. So when the conversation wraps up, how does a host end it cleanly?
The host just taps the end button. That finishes the space for everyone.
Simple enough? Is there any way it ends automatically?
Well, yes. If X detects that the conversation is violating their community guidelines, like hate speech or something, they can shut it down automatically.
Okay. Safety mechanism.
Right. Now, one more interesting integration is with X communities.
Oh yeah, those focus groups on X. How do spaces fit in there?
Well, if you're an admin or a moderator of a community, maybe one dedicated to a specific blockchain project or trading talk, you can actually launch a space specifically for that community.
So it's contained within the group.
Sort of. You start it from the community's post composer, hit the plus, choose the space's icon. The setup is the same. Title, topics, records, schedule.
And do community members get notified?
Usually, yeah. Members often get a notification when a space starts in their community, and live community spaces sometimes show up in that special spacebar area at the top of the main timeline for members. Makes it really easy for people in that niche group to find and join relevant talks.
That sounds really powerful for targeted crypto discussions. Okay, let's pull this all together. For our listener, new to crypto, maybe a bit intimidated by X spaces, what's the bottom line? Why bother exploring this?
Okay, yeah, this is the key takeaway for you. X spaces are just a fantastic direct way to listen and learn from people actually in the crypto space. We're talking experts, project teams, seasoned traders, other learners, all talking live.
Real-time insights.
Exactly. Imagine hearing a live breakdown of a new DeFi protocol or different takes on NFT market moves right as it's happening. It's just a really dynamic way to absorb info.
More engaging than just reading articles sometimes.
For sure. And it's not just listening. You can actually ask questions, request to speak, jump into the comments. It's interactive.
And a way to connect, right? Find others interested in the same crypto niches.
Absolutely. Build your network, find your tribe, so to speak. And now with the ability to speak from desktop, that just makes it even easier if you're someone who works at your computer all day.
Yeah, that desktop speaking capability is a game changer, I think. It lowers the barrier. Maybe you have notes open, you can refer to things easily. It could lead to more in-depth contributions.
Could definitely change the feel of some conversations. Maybe encourage people who